Hello? Okay, I think the recording was okay, so we can continue now. Please confirm if you can still see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we looked at how to create tables. We created registration. We created a database called registration, and we created a table called student. So I will try to view. Okay, this is now we did not run this code yesterday. So let's look at the training DB. Okay, training DB2. Let me copy the code to that training called training DB2. So since there are many databases here, any one I want to or you want to use, you just right click that one. When you right click it, you see query 2. You click on it. That will show that that is the current database that you are working on, and it will not affect other. It will not affect other database. So let me bring the old code here. So since we ran this code yesterday, I will highlight it and run again. It should bring out the table. So these are the tables. So let's say we want to create, we gave a sample of tables that this one is just for practicing how to create table. When we will still do another live project. We'll come together like this and do a project. So that one we will not plan it very well. We are not planning this one because we are just practicing how to create table. So the next table we are going to create now, let's say we want to create a table called course or program. To show that table will not display the courses or the program available. So let me bring this one up close to. So this double dash or hyphen, double hyphen is used for comment. You can comment. So let's say this is program table. So you can write comments. It's a good practice. So that when somebody is looking at your code, the person will understand what you were trying to achieve or what you are trying to achieve. Create table. Let's say program. Programs. So remember we open bracket and close. Then at the end we put semicolon. So we'll go back into the bracket, press enter to open space. That shows the opening and closing of the command. So we are going to type our code inside the bracket. So the first one. So let's look at, let's say our program will have let's say number that we can now use ID is like a popular one when you want to assign a field that will host like numbering. So we'll use integer. Then let's just assign it primary key first. Every table must have a primary key, so which means the course as they appear serially. So we can say the program name, The program name could be, let's say, database management, front-end web development, back-end web development, data analysis, data science, and so on and so forth. So remember, after the field name, the next thing is the data type. So since we're expecting something like program name, which can be data science or any of this kind of name, so it's probably we are going to be typing letters into that field, or the field is going to hold things like 2 or 3 words. So we are going to use varchar. As like I said, varchar is called variable character. So I like giving 55 or 52, 56 or 255. But there is no way the name will be more than this character. So if you have the program name, then we can now have how long does this program takes. Each program, let's say web development may have like 6 months. Then database management may be 4 months. Data analysis may be another duration. Let's assume that all programs don't have uniform duration. That is, let's say we'll now put duration. So this duration now will comes in number. We understand that it could be in months. So we can now specify it in months. So which this number in month stop at 12, or even if it is more than, or should we specify, so your unit of duration will be determined by yourself or by the user, the person you are designing the database for, or the company or the organization that want to use it. They can say, okay, no, our duration is in the unit of weeks, it's in the unit of months, it's in the unit of years or year. So the duration, let's just keep the duration like that. So we'll just use integer, because no matter even if the duration comes in weeks, integer you can put 30, that's 30 weeks. You can put 52 weeks. That is approximately like 1 year. So even if you put 100, 200 weeks, integer can still hold it. So the next one now, let's say each of these programs cost differently. Let's say web development cost, the cost is different. The cost of data science is different. The cost of data analysis is different. The cost of database is different. So each program has its own costs that students that register will pay for. So let's just say now the cost. So what if I put cost like this, is showing like when you write a letter or something and it change to this color, it means these are reserved words, these are keywords. Most times it will allow you to work, but sometimes some programs don't allow you to use their reserved word or their reserved word as part of your own variable. They may not allow you. So that's why when I saw it changing like this, I still add S to make it like normal literals. That's to make it like a normal variable, not to use their reserved word. So let's say cost now, it's coming like 20,000, 50,000, like any amount. So if you like, you can use, if you remember when we are looking at data type, we look at different data type. You can use big, integer. You can use small, you can use integer. So depending on how much you are expecting from that field. So somebody you can use no money is also or decimal. You can it's also part of data type. So maybe whether somebody will suggest the one we will use. Let me look at the chat if anybody want to suggest. Does anybody want to suggest? Any suggestion? Okay, my voice is low. Please confirm if you can hear me. If you can hear me well now, please. Please confirm if you can hear me now. Is it still low? Hello, is my voice still low? Hello? Please confirm if my voice is okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. So can anybody suggest any data type we should use to hold our cost of program? Okay. Okay, somebody wants to talk. Somebody say integer is okay. Good evening. Hello?
I think cost is still talking about numerical figures. So integer is
Integer is okay, right? Okay.
Sir, how about using numeric?
Numeric. Okay. Let's try.
Yes.
Okay. So after each of the line, I just left it. When you type your first line, you have to add comma. So I was just skipping it so that when I want to say it, we'll now emphasize on it. Every line except the last one. If you put comma at the last one, you get error because you are telling the computer that there is another line behind it again, yet it will not see any line, so it will throw error. For example, now let's say I run this now. Because of that comma, it will throw error. See, telling you syntax error at or near the closing bracket, which means the system is expecting another column after this one. So the last line should not have comma. So we'll have, because we have another code here, we will now try to highlight only this one. Even if you highlight the comments, comment is always ignored. It's for human use, not for system use. So system recognize comment and ignore it. So let's run this. If there is any error, it will throw the error. If there is no error, it will run successfully. So do you think that, but before we run it, do you think there is any other fields that we need to use? So we can continue because we are still going to build this in a proper way. We are just learning. table for now. So I will highlight it and click see execute/refresh. So the execute/refresh is what we use to run our code or execute code. So I will click on it. See, create table. Query returned successfully with 367 microseconds. So your code ran successfully. So now let's see the structure of the table. We are going to look at select. No, we are not treating select yet. So I will just write this one sharply. Let me copy this one and paste. Let's see how the table will look like. Good. So this is our program table. So we have ID, we have program name, we have duration and cost. So we have been able to create another table. We can still think of another table again that will be useful to us. So who can think of another table that might be useful to this project? Let's say this is our training project. It's not a real one yet. So we are trying to organize our database.
Sir, what if we want to do, like, you give us an assessment and you want to grade us?
Okay. So let's say we need a
Yes, like,
whole
okay.
student score, right? Isn't it? So let's think around it. How are we going to structure the table to accommodate students' scores? Let's look at it that student may offer more than one. Student may offer more than one course. Let's say a student is offering 3, and the student need to see the score for each of the exam or assessment. So by the name assessment now that you call, we are going to call the table assessment. Let's say create. Okay, let me write it below this one, so that this one will be what we use to view the table. At the end of each SQL, you need to put semicolon. That shows that is the end of it, of that code. So the next one is a new code. So, but because we want to create table, so for emphasis, maybe I will use keyword in capital letter, whether capital or small letter, still okay. Create table. So we'll call it assessment. So our normal procedure, open brackets, close it, then semicolon at the end. Then taking the cursor in between these brackets, you press enter. Then you come here. The reason for this is just to organize your code. Let it be more readable, so that somebody looking at it will easily understand what you are doing. So let's say the first thing here, we are going to create. So the first thing now we are going to look at, okay, our serial number. The table we need to know the total number of record in that table, so we can still use ID, which is like a normal field name for almost every table that is using that want to have a serial number. So this table, we may not necessarily, it's not that let's say we may not think about what to use as primary key much, but we can just use integer because it can come 1, 2, 3 to any number of record. Then we assign it primary key. These keywords, even if you write it in small letter, it's still okay. So the next one, let's say this thing will hold student information or student data. So we need to use student ID. So if you come to the user table, there is a table we created called students. There is an ID for each of the students. We are not going to be putting student name, student phone number, student, all those things here. It will bring that redundancy that we were trying to avoid. So we are going to use with that ID now, you will be able to get every other information from the student table. So that is now indirectly we are trying to create relationship. So if you see the reason why I pasted or I posted that the answer to that question Agnes asked in the previous class, that these are the reasons. Now we have 3 tables. Now our database has grown from 1 table to 2 tables. From 2 tables, we are in the 3rd table now. And we realize that the assessment table need to hold student assessment. And now how can we relate the student from the student table to the assessment table? Is by the use of, that is the essence of primary key. And we cannot afford to be putting all the details, repeating all the details of the student in the assessment table. It defeats the essence of database, because the essence of database is to avoid repetition or duplication of data and ensure data integrity. So we are going to pick this ID here. This ID here. We are going to pick it. This is a primary key. So we are going to connect this table to the assessment table. So after defining the primary key, now next one we are going to call this one now. We are going to call it student's ID. So that immediately you look at this table, you will know that this ID belongs to student. Are we in order? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I want the class to be interactive. Even if you cannot talk, just drop in the question and answer.
Network, it's network. My network is just.
Please just respond, even if it is chat or
The network is messing me up, but I'm following you.
Okay. I think by God's grace today we have. Okay, good. We have the recording, and I pray we should be able to record it to the end so that we can share it. So now we are going to use this student ID now to connect the student table. So when you look at it like this, you will now understand that this ID is coming from the student table. So we are going to define the data type, integer. So what again do we need here? So we need which, in this assessment table, which program are we scored? Let's take for example now, I am doing database management and my tutor want to score me for database management in the assessment table. So we need to identify that database management. There is need for him to link to identify, okay, this is the course I am grading Godwin. Then maybe I'm also offering web development. You need to grade me in web development. So we are going to now link this table again to the program table. So I hope you understand it now. You're seeing how the table connects with each other. That shows relationship in table. So we are going to.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, hello, sir.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. Sir, from what you are saying now, the information that we need, we already created in the other table. So what you said is that we only link it to the table. Is that what you're trying to say now?
I didn't get you correctly.
Oh, which kind of network it is?
I didn't get you well. Please repeat your question again.
I cannot hear you. It's my network.
You can't hear me.
Sir, I want to understand what you are saying. Does it mean that because yes, I heard you. I said that I want to understand what you just said now. That's about the relationship. That we have already created table for different courses and the student's name. So now we want to link the one we want to create now, like for the grading, this course, which will need the name and the 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 name and the courses alongside, and we have already created to avoid data redundancy. You said we have to link the already created table to this one. Is that what you mean?
Yes. So
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
we use primary key to do the linking. So we are going to use this primary key. That's why it is called primary key. That is what is used for linking. But I am using the word linking so that at least at this preliminary stage we will understand it properly. But the ID name is relationship. I want to create a relationship between these two tables. If you look at everything we are doing, circle around the question she asked yesterday. Not because of, we know that because she asked a question, that's why everything is circling around it. No, that her question is fundamental to everything we are doing. So when you understand it, that question she asked, if you understand it, everything we are doing from now henceforth, you will understand it well. So if I were you, I would still go back, maybe at the end of the class, you can still go and highlight that answer and keep. Anytime you want to do database, until you master the process, then you will not need it again. So we will now use this one, this primary key, to link to connect the assessment table to the program table. So this, like we did for student, you can give it a column name or a field name that is different from its original field name, but the data type should always be the same, or should be a data type that can accommodate the primary key of the other table. So we are going to use to make it human readable so that someone looking at your database will know what it is. We are going to call this one program ID. So we are using integer here, so we can still use integer here. So now we are going, the next thing is the score. We are going to use score. Let's say score. Let's say the person scored 20, 50, 80, 100. So this is number, so we can still use integer. But if you want to make it, let's say, a whole number, but if you are expecting decimal, you can use decimal or numeric, whichever one. But let's just, so I think from the material I will give, you can read on your own, you can read the data type in database, focusing on, you can use Postgres, but almost all the database management system, they are all common. They have a common data type. The difference are not much. So on your own, you can do research about data type and see how you can understand the different data type and the occasion that you can use it. So if we are expecting a decimal number, let's say 20.5, 20.1, we cannot use integer because integer will always give us a whole number. In that scenario, we can decide to use decimal, or we can look for a data type that can suit that need. So we are not going to dwell much on data type, but let's just assume this one will serve our purpose, and we'll move ahead. So the next one, if somebody score 50, maybe you want to grade, assign letter A, B, C to the person. So we can put grade. So this one we can use, either we use variable character or we can usually use character. For me, I prefer using variable character, or I usually use character. So let's use character and see. Let's say we'll put 2 here. That's maximum of 2 characters, which is A, B, or let's just say 3. A, B. Somebody can score C4, or you want to use C4, D7, all those things. It may result to that. So let's just use 3 for extra space. So is there anything we see necessary to put in this assessment table again? Is there any other thing? Is there any other thing again? I think with this we are good to go. This is okay. Practically, I think it's okay. So I'm just shifting it so that it will not occupy much space. So let's highlight it and run the code again. But by right, we have not done the relationship, but I don't want to bring confusion yet. If not, we ought to specify the relationship. Let's just introduce it a bit. Let's see. Foreign key. So which one? So if you remember the definition of foreign key, so let me just remove the foreign key. Let's just focus on creating table. When we understand it properly, we can now do relationship. So in the next table we can delete all this table again, create it with relationship. You understand? So let's not complicate the matter. I wanted to introduce the relation. So dropping this table like this, dropping this field, this primary key here, does not necessarily make the system to recognize it as a relationship yet. So you have to define the relationship. So, but ordinarily, we that are designing it, we know that this one is coming from student table, this one is coming from program table, but the system has not recognized it like that yet. So when we connect it now, this one is now serving like a foreign key. This is a foreign key. This is also a foreign key. Why is it called a foreign key? Because why are they called foreign key here? Because they are primary key from another table. In our first class, I used a president as an example. A president of a nation in another country where he is not the president of that country, but he will be treated with some level of respect more than the ordinary citizen, because of the fact that he is the president of another country. But that does not mean he can go and sit on the seat of the president of the nation he visits. He cannot sit on that seat because he is not the president of that nation. So if you look at this table now, the president, the one that is serving like the president of this table now, is this ID. This is the primary key here. All these, they are like the visiting president. like our president visiting United States, visiting France, visiting any other country. So all this one is like that program ID. They are like a visiting president. They are not the president of this table, but they may be given a special a special respect by assigning them as foreign key. They are key, but they are foreign. They are not indigenous to this table. I hope this is understood. So this is the last field. We are not expecting any other field again, so I will remove that comma. So maybe in our next class, now we will now be looking at how can we create relationship, because ordinarily creating this table like this does not complete the senses or the purpose it ought to serve. The purpose is not achieved yet until when you are able to connect this relationship together, bring them together, let the system understand that this table, this is a foreign key here, this one is a foreign key, and being a foreign key was a primary key, or it is a primary key in the original table. So in our next class now, we'll be looking at relationship, so that if possible now, we can delete all this table again, recreate it. At that time, we are not learning how to create table again, because we already know how to create table. We are just trying to achieve relationship among table. So we'll now quickly create a table, then do the relationship. So another thing that I thought of doing, maybe at the end of the class, I may copy this code, save it, and share it in the group, such that as you practice, you can also make reference to it. Will that be okay? Instead of deleting it. Do we agree to that?
Sir, just copy it and paste for reference purpose.
Okay. Okay. I will. Okay, I will. Or should I put it like in a GitHub, like we were doing before? Put it in a GitHub, share it so that you can.
Yes, sir, please paste it for us.
I should paste it. Okay. All right. So let me run this. Let me run this last table. So the
Yeah,
table.
but I thought it would be part of the video you are recording.
Hello?
Yes, I agree with
There was a question. Someone asked a question.
Thank you.
Okay. So this, yes, what the code here is will be part of the is part of the video I'm recording. But the difference is that when I paste the code for you, you will have access to the raw code. But video, you will just be seeing it. So I think I will save it and put it in the group. I will call it lesson. I will name it in a way that will understand, maybe lesson 2 or class. Title is data, creating database. Anyhow, you understand it sharp. So let's look at the table we have been able to create. So let's say we'll look at this schema. This is DB training 2. So we'll come to schema. You scroll down. You see tables. You click on table. So these are the tables. Now we have created 3 tables: assessments, program, students. So let's also view this assessment table. Let's see the structure. But you can look at the structure from here. If you open it, you will see columns, another thing. You clicked on columns, you see it here. But we can use this code to see and use select star from assessment. Now, when we go into select, I will explain what that means. But now let's just look at this is the code or the table we have created. So this field now will be is the primary key. Then this one will hold students ID. Then this one will hold program ID. Then this one will hold the score. Then this one the grade. So with that now, you now when you want to see a particular student code, we will still go to that one because of the connection between this assessment table and the student table. You can easily get every information from here that you want and join it with this every information here, or you pick what you want from here and you see a very comprehensive report, as let me call it a report, as if the data that you are seeing exists like that in the table. In the database, it does not exist in the form you are seeing, but with the help of SQL now, you can join your table, pick a particular field in different tables that will make meaning to your report, and you view it. So, our class starts by 5 and ends at 6. And it's already, we'll be keeping to time. It's already 6 minutes past 6. So we'll use the remaining 21 minutes that we waited for others to join. We'll use it for question and answer. So tomorrow we are going to look at relationship. So tomorrow topic will be relationship.
So you said tomorrow.
Sorry. Sorry, it's next week, Saturday. We are going to look at relationship. So if you have any question, any contribution, you can make so that we can wrap up at most in the next food.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, I have a one question, but not based on the lesson today. Please, sir, can you hear me? Yes, sir. I discovered that the work when I log into the PG admin, I cannot see it again. The thing just disappeared. I don't know if it's that I didn't save it or because I could remember that I saved the work, but I cannot find it again.
Your code or your PG admin disappear itself. Is it your work that disappear or PG admin disappear?
No, it's the table I created in the PG admin. My table.
Okay, the table will be there. The table will be there because when you go to did you see your database?
Yes, my database are there, but I cannot view the table.
When you go to your database, you will see something like this. Click on it. You scroll down. You see.
To schema.
Yes. You see. Then when you expand it,
I open it.
come down like this, and you see table. You see table. If the table were you can just ensure you right click on the table like this and run the code again to create another one and see if it will disappear. If the thing still disappear, maybe within a week, you can just send me a message. I will connect with you and see what is going on or what is wrong with it. You understand? So any other question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know that there is something like I know there's something like update table, but I don't know if after you've created table like this last one we just did, we ran the code and confirmed that the table has been created and it appeared down here. If I go to inject another line of code, maybe to add
To add data into the table, right?
date of birth or something.
Okay, I didn't get you. Like after creating a table like this, you want to add
between or at the end of the last line.
Okay, yes, you can use the keyword called alter. We are still going to look at
run a code.
You can alter table. You can alter table, let's say assessment. No, we are taking it gradually, taking note of the fact that we are all, let's say, beginners, looking at it from the beginner's point of view. So you can alter your table and say add column. Then you put the column name. Let's say you want to put extra. After that one, you can put extra. That's a column. The data type is integer.
I said if table.
Hello? You can type your question. If network is affecting you, you can, because your voice is breaking seriously, you can type it. Hello, Paul. Please, can anyone hear me?